Today, we address the age old question: Canva or Adobe Express? As a brand strategist, designer, and a small business owner, I tend to work with other small businesses. Some of them prefer Canva, while others prefer Adobe Express, whereas some work with them in conjunction. I personally prefer Adobe Express, and they're also sponsoring this video. Adobe Express comes in handy when you have over 200 million premium stock assets, 30,000 licensed fonts with contextual font recommendations, and you can resize your designs for social platforms and create in bulk for different seasons. And commercially safe AI that delivers high quality results, great for your business and for your brand. Alright, that's just a teaser. Let's dive into the details and see what works for you. Now, you may have a different use case and therefore a different app that you prefer. And while I believe that Canva has been there for a long time and they were one of the first web based graphic design tools, Adobe Express trumps the market. Let's see why. Starting with the pricing. Canva has a free version and offers various pro plans for individuals, teams, and enterprise with additional features in the pro plan. It also offers those features for free for K-12 education, and you can contact them for other offers. Let's hop into Adobe Express, and they also have free and premium plans. With Adobe Express, you can pick an annual premium subscription, or if you have an existing Creative Cloud subscription, Adobe Express comes included with that. If you're looking for a solution for enterprises and students, that's available, and free plans for K-12 and nonprofits. The one major difference, the content scheduler in Adobe Express, that's available for free. Let's move on to how seamlessly Adobe Express works with other apps in the Adobe ecosystem. Enter libraries. I have this design I created for social media and I want to pop a brand asset on here. Browse to brands, click on assets. I'll select the skate asset here and then click on place. Now perhaps I want it in a different positioning but also want to reflect that change in my brand library. Head to Adobe Illustrator library, open the asset. You probably can't see that because of the white background. No worries, push it to the side, rotate and resize and then hit save. Jumping back into Adobe Express, and I see this pop up which tells me to update my assets. Click on update and you're ready to go. Since you can save assets in the brand library in the Adobe ecosystem, there's no need to download and upload files every time there's a change. On the other hand, Canva does not have anything similar and therefore managing files becomes a task in itself. So if you already have a Creative Cloud subscription, Adobe Express just makes sense. I also want to highlight the brand kit in both the apps. Brand kits in Adobe Express gives you the ability to upload logos, colors, fonts, templates, assets, and any images you might have. These templates are Adobe Express projects and reusable by anyone who has access to this brand. Moving on to Canva, we have a very similar brand kit where we can upload logos, colors, fonts, which you can't actually see at a quick glance. You have to click in to see, and those few extra steps just don't seem very intuitive. You can include a small write-up about the brand voice, add photos, graphics, and icons. But honestly speaking, if I'm sharing a brand kit in an app with a client, I would much rather prefer them having access to brand guidelines rather than a small write-up. So this does not make sense. The next thing that stood out to me was the tutorials that I can access in each app. For Canva, hit the question mark at the bottom right and get AI-powered help. Ask the Canva AI any questions and you get a step-by-step process right in front of you. In comparison, Adobe Express has a Learn tab. Here you will find you can learn from experts, get design, video, social media advice from creators, and a step-by-step walkthrough of performing tasks at your own pace. In my opinion, that just makes the app more approachable and more intuitive. The one thing that most people using social media do is repurposing their content. With Canva, you can easily copy and resize into various designs, even for print, except it creates those resized designs into completely new projects. Hopping into Adobe Express, hit resize, and select the sizing you want. And clicking on duplicate and resize creates those variations in the same Adobe Express project. effortless. And when it comes to social media, posting content is one of the key tasks that you have to perform to keep up. Canva offers a content planner under the apps panel. You can manage calendar preferences to show holidays, but you only have one calendar. If you'd like to schedule for multiple accounts or posts, you might have to explore your option under the apps panel, such as Bobcat, Metricule, or the Later app. These apps might offer more flexibility for managing multiple calendars. Game changer Adobe Express, though, has multiple calendars you can add for each project you work on. Click on Schedule and you can see your personal calendar, where you can schedule posts or add drafts. Or you can access shared calendars from projects and see various other posts already scheduled different for each project. This calendar is accessible by anyone in this shared project, and you can connect up to 3 accounts to each social media channel with the premium plan and use the multi-account publishing feature. With that said, I do prefer Adobe Express over Canva for all of these reasons. Although you may want to reconsider if you have specific needs tailored to your organization and only available in Canva at the moment, such as some specific app integrations. Thank you again, Adobe Express, for sponsoring this video. Meanwhile, try both the apps for yourself, see what works for your use case, and if you have any other questions, feel free to drop a comment below. Who knows, there might even be a world where you're using both Canva and Adobe Express in conjunction. Something for Canva, let's say the Monday or some other later app integrations, and some other things in the Adobe ecosystem, such as brand kits and libraries. I personally love using the generative AI as well, and if you want to give it a try, there's a free Adobe Express trial for 30 days link in my description below. You can get your hands on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.